Welcome to the Athyx Chronicles podcast, a platform where narrators and voice actors can showcase their talents to the world. If you're a narrator, voice actor, or would like to sponsor an episode, message us on our website, wsclass.xyz. I'm the creator and host, WS Klass. I hope you enjoy what this podcast has to offer. Raven's Gambit is a work of original fiction, inspired by the worlds of classic fantasy and science fiction. This podcast is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or associated with Wizards of the Coast, Lucasfilm, Disney, or any other intellectual property holders. All characters, orders, and concepts, including mystics and the Lufi, are original creations or transformative elements developed for non-commercial storytelling. Listener discretion is advised. Copyright 2026 by Kevin C. Davison. All rights reserved. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form by any means without the prior written permission of the author, except by reviewer, who may quote brief passage in a review to be printed in a newspaper, magazine, or journal. All characters in this podcast are fictitious, and any resemblance to real persons living or dead is coincidental. Klass Productions. Content warning disclaimer. Attention, delicate souls and easily offended listeners. Congratulations on downloading this podcast. Before you dive in, let's make a few things crystal clear. This literary masterpiece is not for the faint of heart, the overly sensitive, or anyone who can't handle a good dose of reality. If you're the type to clutch your pearls at the slightest hint of controversy, you might want to reconsider your life choices, starting with this podcast. Expect the unexpected. Offensive language, controversial opinions, and a healthy amount of irreverence. If you find yourself gasping in horror or feeling the need to write a strongly worded letter to the author, remember, you were warned repeatedly. So if you're ready to step out of your bubble and experience something truly enlightening and possibly infuriating, begin listening. If not, there's always that cozy corner of the internet where everything is safe, sanitized, and completely devoid of fun. Enjoy, or not. And now, on to our production of Raven's Gambit.
Death was only the beginning. 69 souls. One impossible choice. Welcome. To Raven's Gambit.
Raven's Gambit, Episode 9, The Dead Know the Way. Written by W.S. Klass. Narrated by Bradford Wilson.
The campfire hissed in the crisp morning air outside Ashspire, but the heat did little to prepare the gathering adventurers for the storm barreling toward them. Saren Willowmere came sprinting from the direction of the plume, sobbing, soaked, smeared with blood not her own. Her eyes wide and haunted. "Help! Please!" Cale Stonemarch was on his feet in a flash, sword half drawn. Micah Vex stood beside him, already flanking. Saren reached them, barely able to breathe between her cries. The damned Gynosphinx! Syphira! She killed them, all of them! Jesse, Alyssa, brothers, Ambrose, Hunter. She sank to her knees, sobbing. She said she'd spare me only if I healed her wounds. And I did. Barely. But she's still hurt. She's still bleeding. Cale clenched his jaw, eyes wild with fury. Then we go now. We cut that beast down. A wrinkled hand landed on his shoulder. Master Orenthal, his robes fluttering in the breeze, spoke calmly. Be mindful of your aggression. Vengeance drives blades dull. Cale's breath shook, but he nodded. Group 6 stood in eerie formation nearby, watching the drama unfold. Most had already prepared themselves. Now they were eager. Veyra Mournshade, dressed in violet silks, stained at the edges by grave dust, ran a finger over the raven's skull in her pocket. She listened, smiled faintly. She'll be expecting us, she whispered. Her companions were creatures of undeath and shadow. Theron Blackroot, eyes like eclipse fire, cracking his knuckles as faint trails of black arcane energy danced across his fingers. Varkul, ghoul-like and sickly, licking dry lips that peeled at the edges. Morven the White, silent, eyes flickering with stolen life. Khopesh the Mummy, towering and regal, wrapped in age-old fury. And Skulven, the cloaked Themor, who said nothing, his presence alone causing the nearby camp dogs to whine and retreat. Torches were lit for those without dark vision, though many of them preferred the gloom. Without a word, they descended into Ashspire. The rusted spiral staircase groaned under their weight. Down they went, into the ankle-deep murky corridor, where the stench of mildew, rot, and blood mixed thick in the air. The torchlight flickered on the slick stones ahead, until they reached the chamber where Syphira waited. She sat atop a hill of bones that had grown since the last group, still licking a bloody wound on her flank. The Gynosphinx lifted her massive head, her feline eyes narrowing. "How many of you are there?" She sniffed. "Never mind. What path do you wish to take?" "East," answered Veyra Mournshade without hesitation. The Sphinx's fangs glistened as she recited again. "My creator wants me not, and much in dread will I be bought. My cold embrace is fiercely fought. Most all who need me know it not." There was a moment of silence, a breath held. Theron Blackroot muttered, "You'd think the survivors would share the answers." "I take it," Veyra said calmly. "If we're wrong, we become additions to your mound of bones." The Sphinx didn't answer with words, just a slow, savage grin. "Turns up!" She pounced, claws slicing through the air. Veyra vanished from view beneath the powerful beast. Theron's eldritch blast struck fast and true, searing her shoulder with shadow flame. She roared in pain. Khopesh was upon her next. His massive linen-wrapped fist cracked against her ribs, and the sickening sound of breaking bone echoed through the chamber. Syphira responded with a vengeful claw strike, tearing into Khopesh's bandaged side. Dust and dried flesh scattered like ash. Theron struck again, another blast of otherworldly energy slamming into her flank, the smell of scorched fur thick in the air. Morven and Varkul circled like predators, ready to strike. Khopesh raised both fists. "Return to bones!" With a deafening crunch, he brought his fists down. Skull met stone beneath the murky water. Brain and bone burst beneath the blow. Syphira's body went limp. Her mound of bones accepted her at last. The room was quiet again. Blood pooled. Water rippled. A wing twitched and stopped. Khopesh, hands still deep in the gore, turned towards the others. "Do we still want to go east?" Back at the surface, Master Orin sat alone, scribbling new notes into the great ledger. His stylus hovered for a moment. One name faded. 5 more held fast. He looked up at the mountain. The Gambit continues. Until next time.
Join us for the next episode of Raven's Gambit, Episode 10, Steel, Stone, and Sacrifice. Special thanks to the people behind the scenes. Thank you for listening to Raven's Gambit, a story rooted in inspiration, but uniquely its own. All references to characters, relics, and philosophies, including the Wu-Fi and the Mystics, are fictional and not intended to represent or infringe upon any existing works. Support the creators who inspired you, and may the Wu-Fi be strong in your signal. Support the creators you love, and may the dice always roll high.
If you're enjoying Raven's Gambit and the Athyx Chronicle podcast, be sure to explore the other worlds created by authors W.S. Klass. From dark fantasy and psychological thrillers to science fiction, horror, and unforgettable adventures, there's something for every reader. Whether you're searching for epic heroes, chilling mysteries, thought-provoking tales, or stories that keep you turning pages late into the night, W.S. Klass has a journey waiting for you. Visit wsclass.xyz to discover available titles, upcoming releases, and audiobooks, and more. Thank you for supporting independent authors and storytellers.
The mountain is calling. There's no turning back. Raven's Gambit. Raise your voices high. From the edge of nothing, we refuse to die. Raven's Gambit. Hear the bomb to cry. 69 united. We were born to fly. The game has begun. Choose your fate. Welcome to Raven's Gambit.